The shield is broken. The throne is empty. And the man who called himself the tribal chief is standing at a crossroads that could either cement his legacy forever or tear it all down in one brutal, unforgiving night. What you're about to witness isn't just another wrestling match. This is the moment where empires crumble, where loyalty gets tested in blood and sweat, and where the biggest question in sports entertainment finally gets answered: can Roman Reigns survive what he created? Right now, as you're watching this, the WWE Universe is holding its breath. Because for over 1,200 days, Roman Reigns didn't just dominate, he obliterated everything in his path. He made champions look like nobodies. He turned legends into footnotes. He built a family that controlled every single championship, every storyline, every ounce of power in the company. But here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud: the higher you climb, the harder you fall. And tonight, the fall might just be legendary. Before we dive deeper into this chaos, I need you to do something for me. If you love this content, if you live for these breakdowns, if wrestling runs through your veins the same way it runs through mine, smash that subscribe button right now. Join the SLAMZONE family, because we're building something special here. We're not just another wrestling channel. We're the voice of the fans who feel every suplex, every betrayal, every near fall like it's happening to us. Hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single moment of what's coming. Trust me on this one. Now let's get back to the ring. The atmosphere is electric. You can actually feel the energy radiating through the screen, 20,000 fans on their feet, the arena shaking with anticipation. The ring is surrounded by steel, by ladders, by everything that makes this business beautiful and brutal at the same time. This isn't your typical Friday night main event. This is the kind of match that careers are built on. The kind of match that people will talk about for decades. Roman Reigns steps through the curtain and the reaction is deafening. But here's what's different: it's not just boos anymore. It's not just cheers. It's this twisted mixture of respect, hatred, admiration, and absolute rage, all rolled into one volcanic eruption of sound. Because after everything he's put the WWE Universe through, after every single manipulation, every calculated attack, every time he made someone acknowledge him, we can't deny that he changed the game forever. Watch his face. Look at those eyes. That's not the same Roman from 5 years ago who smiled and fist-bumped his way to the ring. That's a man who knows exactly what he built and exactly what's at stake. Every step he takes down that ramp is calculated, measured, like a predator stalking through territory he believes he owns. The music hits different tonight. The presence feels heavier. Because deep down, somewhere underneath that bulletproof confidence, there's a question mark. And in this business, the moment you start questioning yourself, that's when the vultures circle. His opponent slides into the ring and the crowd absolutely loses their minds. This is the challenger who's been waiting, training, suffering through setbacks and injuries and politics just to get to this moment. The underdog story writes itself, but what makes this special is that this isn't just about winning a championship, this is about ending a reign of terror that has suffocated the entire company. The referee holds up the championship belt. The lights reflect off that gold like it's the holy grail, like it's the only thing that matters in this world. And maybe it is. Because in professional wrestling, the title represents power, legacy, immortality. Roman stares at it like it's an extension of his soul. His opponent stares at it like it's the dream they've been chasing since they were 8 years old, watching wrestling on a tiny television screen. The bell rings. And immediately, Roman explodes with a Superman punch that comes out of nowhere. The challenger drops to one knee, stunned, and you can hear the collective gasp from the audience. This is the Roman Reigns playbook: strike first, strike hard, establish dominance before your opponent even has time to breathe. He follows up with heavy strikes, each one calculated to break down the body and destroy the spirit. The challenger tries to fight back, throws a desperate combination of strikes that backs Roman into the corner for just a second. But Roman grabs the ropes, smirks, and the referee has to step between them. That smirk tells you everything. He's not worried. Not yet. The challenger uses this moment, charges forward with a running knee that connects clean across Roman's jaw. The tribal chief stumbles backward, actually showing signs of being hurt, and the crowd erupts. You can feel the shift in energy. Suddenly this isn't the one-sided destruction everyone expected. Suddenly there's hope. They exchange strikes in the center of the ring, back and forth, neither willing to give an inch. The sound of flesh hitting flesh echoes through the arena. These aren't worked punches, these are two warriors genuinely trying to prove who's tougher, who wants it more, who's willing to sacrifice everything for that 3 count. The challenger hits a picture-perfect dropkick that sends Roman through the ropes to the outside, and the crowd is on their feet screaming. This is where it gets dangerous. This is where bodies start breaking down. The challenger runs, hits the ropes, and launches themselves over the top rope with a suicide dive that crashes both competitors into the barricade. The impact is sickening. You can see fans in the front row recoil, hands over their mouths, because nobody expected that level of intensity this early in the match. Roman is down. Actually down. His chest heaving, trying to catch his breath, and for the first time in over 3 years, you can see something in his expression that looks almost like doubt. The challenger pulls themselves up using the ring apron, adrenaline pumping so hard they probably can't even feel the pain yet. They roll Roman back into the ring, climb to the top rope, and the entire building is chanting their name. Flying elbow drop connects. The cover. 1, 2. Roman kicks out with authority, throwing the challenger across the ring. But that was close. Too close. And everyone in that arena knows it. The match continues and the psychology is absolutely perfect. Roman slows down the pace, applies a guillotine choke that drains the life from his opponent. This is the veteran instinct, the championship composure that has kept him on top for so long. The referee checks the arm once, twice, and on the third check the challenger keeps it up. The crowd rallies behind them, clapping in unison, willing them to fight back. And they do. Somehow, impossibly, the challenger powers to their feet with Roman still locked on, and drops backward with a modified suplex that breaks the hold. Both competitors are down, both exhausted, and the referee starts the 10 count. At 7, they both stir. At 9, they're both on their feet, leaning against opposite ropes, staring across the ring at each other with pure respect and pure hatred. This is what makes wrestling beautiful, that combination of athletic competition and emotional warfare that you can't fake, can't script, can't manufacture without two people genuinely leaving everything in that squared circle. Halfway through this incredible battle, I want to remind you again, if you're loving this breakdown, if you can feel your heart pounding the same way mine is, do me a favor and hit that like button. Drop a comment below and tell me who you think should walk out of this match as champion. Share this video with your wrestling friends because we're building something special here at SLAMZONE. We're creating a community of real fans who understand what this business means. Back to the action, and things are about to get even more intense. Roman sets up for the spear, the move that has ended countless careers and countless championship reigns. He positions himself in the corner, pounding his fist into the mat, that signature taunt that lets everyone know the end is near. The challenger stumbles to their feet, barely conscious, and Roman charges. But at the last possible second, the challenger leapfrogs over him. Roman crashes into the turnbuckle, and as he turns around, he walks straight into the challenger's finishing move. The cover. 1, 2, THR kick out. Roman kicks out at 2.9 and the referee is holding up 2 fingers, confirming it wasn't 3, but holy hell, that was close. The challenger can't believe it. They thought they had it won. They fall back onto the mat, staring at the lights, trying to process how Roman survived. And this is where the mental game comes into play. Because Roman has been in this position 1,000 times. He knows how to handle adversity. He knows how to manipulate his opponent's emotions. Roman rolls to the outside to catch his breath, and here come the mind games. He's talking to someone at ringside, possibly calling an audible, possibly just stalling for time. The challenger doesn't wait, they hit another suicide dive that connects. But this time, Roman was ready. He catches them mid-air and drives them spine first into the ring post with a devastating powerbomb. The sound is sickening. The challenger crumples to the floor like a broken doll, and Roman just stands there, breathing heavy, blood trickling from his mouth, looking every bit the final boss that he's always claimed to be. He drags the challenger back into the ring, not for the pin, but to inflict more damage. Because this isn't just about winning anymore, this is about sending a message. Roman hits a massive powerbomb in the center of the ring. Instead of covering, he picks them up again. Another powerbomb. The crowd is booing, screaming for him to stop, but Roman feeds off that energy. He thrives in it. This is who he is now, not the hero, not the good guy, but the ruthless strategist who will do whatever it takes to maintain his position at the top of the mountain. He finally goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. And even Roman looks surprised. Even the tribal chief didn't expect his opponent to have anything left in the tank after that kind of punishment. The respect between these two warriors is real, even if it's buried underneath layers of competition and ego and championship gold. Both competitors are exhausted now, running on pure instinct and muscle memory. They trade strikes in the center of the ring again, each punch weaker than the last, each movement slower, more deliberate. The challenger hits a desperation DDT that spikes Roman on his head, and both competitors collapse. The referee starts counting again. The crowd is chanting, phones are out recording every second because everyone knows this is history in the making. At 8, the challenger stirs. At 9, they crawl toward the ropes. At 9.5, they pull themselves up. Roman is still down. The challenger climbs to the top rope one more time, the entire arena holding its breath. They leap off with their most devastating aerial attack, but Roman moves. At the last possible second, Roman rolls out of the way and the challenger crashes into the mat with nothing but canvas and regret. Roman crawls to the corner, uses the ropes to pull himself up, and you can see the calculation in his eyes. This is it. This is the moment. He sets up for the spear again, but this time there's no showboating, no taunting, just pure focus. The challenger staggers to their feet and Roman charges like a freight train. Spear. The impact echoes through the building. Roman hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The bell rings and Roman's music hits, but there's no celebration. He just sits there in the center of the ring, championship clutched to his chest, staring into the crowd with an expression that's somehow both victorious and empty. Because what happens when you've beaten everyone? What happens when there's nobody left to conquer? What happens when the empire you built starts feeling like a prison? The challenger rolls out of the ring, helped to the back by officials, and the respect from the crowd is deafening. They might not have one, but they proved they belong in that conversation. They proved they can hang with the best who ever do it. But the real story here, the thing nobody wants to talk about, is this: WWE has a Roman Reigns problem. Not because he's not talented, he's one of the greatest of all time. Not because he's not entertaining, he's been must-see television for years. The problem is that when one person dominates for this long, when one story consumes everything else, the entire landscape starts to suffer. Other stars can't break through. Other storylines feel secondary. And eventually, even the most loyal fans start wondering when anything will change. Roman stands on the ropes, holding that championship high, and you have to wonder, is this strength or is this desperation? Is this confidence or is this a man holding onto power because he's terrified of who he is without it? Before we close this out, one last time, if this breakdown gave you chills, if you felt every moment of this match, subscribe to SLAMZONE right now. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this with everyone who loves wrestling as much as we do. We're dropping intense content every single week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. The Roman Reigns era has defined this generation of wrestling. Love him or hate him, you can't ignore him. But every empire falls eventually. Every champion loses eventually. And when that moment comes, when someone finally dethrones the tribal chief and takes the championship from his hands, it's going to be the biggest moment in WWE history. The question isn't if it will happen. The question is when. And more importantly, who will be the one to finally acknowledge that Roman Reigns is human after all. This is SLAMZONE, and we'll see you in the next one.